vast majority of companies in the United States are small businesses. In fact, 96% have 50 or fewer employees. That is 5.8 million out of 6 million total companies right now in the United States. Small businesses, as everybody knows, are critical to the US growth. They contribute 65% of all new jobs. Without small businesses, the economy will not grow, and right now they are under threat with this global pandemic. Here is a video that can help small business owner who is buried in the paperwork to get the government help. The government and the SBA has been doing a lot of great work trying to bring the money to the small businesses, but there are so many small business owners who are unable to figure out the right paperwork, and the banking resources are not able to really help provide all the help. So today I'm bringing you a recording of the chat I had with Duc Nguyen, who started this website that not only helps a small business owner, but it also reflects the passion and knowledge how a fellow small business owner and an entrepreneur can help others succeed. So let's jump on to the Zoom call with Duc Nguyen. Thank you so much for agreeing to join my session today. I know we've written the first book, my first book in my life. I wrote it with you, Loan Mod Exposed. It's a software platform, just for the audience, just to letting them know. We wrote about demystifying loan modifications, and then the topic was how to negotiate with your lender and win. It seems like it was like long time ago. It was almost 10 years ago, and you are my co-author, and now we are again getting close to recession. So I'm excited to introduce you to the audience. And before I want to ask you to tell me about yourself, I'll tell you what I know about you.
Okay.
So you have over 20 years of experience in the mortgage and real estate industry. You had a real estate broker license. You were the designated broker for Senpaco, and then you had a mortgage broker license. Then you had insurance license, and you also had the investment securities license. Is that right? Did I miss
Wow, that's
anything?
right. That's right. Thanks, Kiran, for remembering all of that, man. I don't know how you do it. You're amazing.
Thank you for the amazing work that you do, helping the homeowners and people in distress. And so tell me about yourself. How do you think people see you? So talk about that.
Well, you know what, man? Everything I've done up to this point has been out of necessity, right? When you and I wrote the book together and do the software was because most of our customers who invest in real estate back then, now they're stuck with one home, the primary home, and other investment property. And then the market went down. A lot of people lost their jobs, so they're like, okay, how am I going to support these payments? And so we had so many people asking us that question. So we say, okay, let's write a book about it and teach them how to do that, so that we don't have to answer everyone, right? And then we wrote the book. People were like, hey, I read the book, I still don't know how to do it. That's why we created the software. We say, okay, well, maybe that'll be easier. And you know what? Honestly, I think we saved thousands of homes, Kiran. I know that nonprofit organizations use our software. A lot of loan modification use our software. And it's something I'm so proud about is we wrote the book. We gave the guideline. We tell the bank what to do even before Obama announced his own guideline requirement. And I don't remember, I don't know if you remember that, but the day he announced the requirement, we did not have to change anything from our book and our software. Everything we talk about, all the guideline, were exactly the way he said it. So, I think one thing I'm proud about is you and I, we were ahead of the curve. We saw that coming, and we anticipate, and people, customer who listen to us, benefit from that. So that's something I'm very proud about.
See the reason. It might sound exaggerated when we say that the guidelines that we wrote in our book before, and then Obama's guidelines pretty much matched to what we wrote. The reason for that is with the experience that you had in mortgage, and then we brainstorming how the loans are originated, and we were going in reverse, the debt to income ratios. Okay, if you are around more than 45% debt to income ratio, then that's a problem. You want to be around 33% debt to income ratio. So all the debt to income ratios, the DTI ratios, is what we talked about in the book, and that's what trickled down. And my experience remembering Vincent, who was a financial planner, and also Eduardo, who also have a lot of experience in the mortgage and financial planning industry. They also contributed, but your contribution was key then because you had the most mortgage experience at that time, and you talking about the lender guidance. How do the servicers and the lenders determine if a particular borrower is able to afford it without going into default, and also default now, and then default that is impending. So impending default is also that they want to avoid. So you were excellent in that book, and we have that book, the Loan Mod Exposed, the first book that me, Duke, wrote together. We have that available. So if you're watching this video, if you want a soft copy of it, we'll be able to email it to you. Duke, if that's okay with you, I'm going to share that with our audience.
Please, please. I mean, that book has been long forgotten, from you and I until now. Right now, suddenly we bring back all the good stuff. But I think a consumer, a borrower now can still use that book. That the guideline has not changed. So definitely it's still useful today.
So in preparation for our interview yesterday night, I took the book out and I was going through the pages. What we wrote and the chapters that you contributed are still valid. You talk about expenses, you talk about how to package the information to the lender, how to write the hardship letter. I remember when we were doing one of the seminars at the Renaissance Hotel, somebody came and asked, can you translate it? Can you translate the book? And Eduardo, being a Spanish speaker among us, we say, yeah, we can translate it in Spanish. He said, no, not that translation. Can you tell us in layman's terms how to interpret this and package it? So it's very important. This information overload is there. Like people can figure it out by reading, by spending 3 or 4 days researching about what the government is doing, what the lenders are expecting, but translating it to something wherein a common man can understand is where it is important. And that's why the software that we had that time was so significant. That leads me into the next question. Right now, again, we are seeing a lot of businesses having problems. So now I want to get your opinion on what is our government doing to help small businesses during this pandemic. So what are you seeing that they're offering?
You know what, man? They talk a lot about helping small business. Everybody's talking about that in the last 3-4 weeks, right? But I haven't seen no help. I see a little bit help here and there, but you know who has been benefited? You know, the package that they came out with about 3-4 weeks ago, $349 billion supposed to help businesses. Very little of that go to small businesses. All the big business, when they say small business, they mean like 500 employee and under, right? 1 to 500 employee. But I see big restaurant has been getting a big chunk of that. I see big corporation getting a big chunk of that. None of my friends who have 5, 10, 20, 30 employee got any money yet, except for a few grand from the EIDL program. You know what, man? If the way we go right now, this country cannot keep going. The small guy will die. Nobody can support 1-2 months of no revenue and still expenses. Landlords sometimes don't work with them. They have debt, they have loans, they have living expenses, business expenses. They still have to pay. This is the time that I'm telling all of my friends and all of my business owner customers, be smart. You need to act like a big company now. Big company know what's coming and they go ahead of the curve. They apply, they have the right people who apply for them, and they got the money first. The first round of money is already out.
So Duke, you use the acronym EIDL, right? Economic Injury Disaster Loan, right? That's the word that you use. For audience who is not aware of it, what is that EIDL? Okay. What is that offering?
So as soon as this pandemic hits, Trump and now, everybody is trying to help us. So they talk to SBA, and SBA say, okay, well, we can come up with a program called Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's EIDL, okay? But most business already shut down, so they say, well, how can we get the help out to the people quickest? So they start advertising, apply now for $10,000 grant. Okay, actually that $10,000 grant is part of the EIDL. EIDL, the first program, is supposed to loan the business owner 6 months of his business expense. So for example, Kiran, if you run a small restaurant, I just throw some number out there, and your expense is $20,000, right? $10,000 of payroll. The rest goes to food costs, goes to paying rent, goes to utility, whatever. So your total is $20,000. Government is supposed to give you $120,000, 6 times that. So to cover your overhead for the next 6 months, it's not a grant, it's a loan that you have to pay over 30 years at 3.75%. But you won't make your first payment until 13 months from now. So they give you a whole year of recuperating and start paying month number 13 for the next 30 years. So for example, if they give you a loan for 100 grand, your monthly payment is like $500. So I mean, very affordable for a business who need that cash, that need to support and keep his business going. I mean, to even survive and to be able to fight another chance, which is what? Hey, 75% of America is like that, right? Everywhere you go down the street, the coffee shop, the restaurant, the nail salon, the hair salon, everybody is a small business. Our community, that support and help our community. So that loan was supposed to be for that. But when they say 6 months, SBA is already so backed up, you have to remember, this is another point to take, okay? You need to read between the line here. SBA has never given out money directly. SBA always asks you to go to your bank. So let's say they come out with a program, they say, go to your bank, apply for it. If your bank say, okay, we'll back the loan up. If you don't pay the bank, then government will come in and back up that loan. But this is the first time as I know that they say, okay, send the application, then we give you money directly. Guess what? SBA is not a bank. SBA is not an underwriter. They have to hire 1,000 of people to come in and push out those loans. They didn't push out fast enough. So guess what they do? They say, okay, well, let's take that side down. Let's advertise that we give people $10,000 as a grant, as emergency fund to at least keep their door open or keep stuff going until we come out with the 6-month program. Then later than that, they came out with another paycheck protection program that now you have to go to your bank. Paycheck protection program is where you apply and you can get 2.5 times of your payroll. So for the example above, I told you they like $20,000 expenses, $10,000 goes to payroll, the rest go to other expenses, right? They give you $25,000, which is 2.5 times of your payroll. Okay, but that's not supposed to be for the business owner. That's supposed to be for the employee, so that you keep your employee, you keep the payroll going. Kiran, man, everybody have been going to that program. They had applied with the bank. They tried to get a 2.5 times payroll. But remember, that does not cover your rent. That does not cover your other expenses. If you use 75% of that money, then that money for employee, then that money is forgiven. Okay. Some bank, you know what some bank are doing? Some bank are not releasing all of that money. Even you go to the bank and you get approved, for example, $50,000, they put that in escrow. And every week you submit your payroll and they use that to pay your payroll. They don't even give you that money. So what about rent and other things? This is the time to be very tactical and smart here. Everybody's looking toward the direction of PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, of 2.5 times. People are not looking at the 6-month, the EIDL program anymore. It's the time that our business owner need to look that way, because that gives them a lot more money and give them more freedom and ability to pay other bills except their, on top of their payroll. And that's the main difference between the Paycheck Protection Program and the EIDL.
So now, if they did not get any money from the EIDL yet, because I remember in the news it was announced, and a lot of our customers also, they have applied, and I've had a bunch of phone calls with people trying to break down what the EIDL is. Okay, they applied for the 10,000, they applied for the PPP, they didn't get any money. So what are their options, or what's next for them?
Okay. Everybody, I know that SBA is low at this, but everybody who applied for an EIDL, the $10,000, will get a response. A lot of my customers have got a responded by email. On the email, it say either they decline you for a certain reason, No, actually, they don't say the reason. They say, based on your credit, you don't qualify. And what I found out is SBA will check your credit from Experian. If you see a credit pull from your Experian credit report, 2 days later, if you qualify, the money's in your bank, wired to your bank directly.
This is the 10,000 or the PPP?
This is the 10,000. This is the 10,000. But the 10,000 does not apply for everyone. 10,000 is when you do the online application. It depends on the amount of employee you put in. If you put in 3 employees, then they give 1,000 per employee up to 10,000. So if you have 15 employees, you still get 10,000. You have 3 employees, then you get $3,000.
Okay. So
but people check the credit.
And the EIDL application is very, it's a simpler form than the PPP application. The EIDL, they are just asking what was your gross revenue, how many employees you had, and boom, that's it. You submit it.
Very
with PPP, they're asking for the 940s, the 941. You have to show them every quarter how many people you had. It's more elaborate, and people need to know exactly how they're applying, because even if they apply wrong, then you'll go right behind the line, and you're just shooting yourself in the foot, aren't they? So the small businesses have to be more educated about this paperwork than their own business now.
I tell you what, man. The $10,000 was very simple to apply. They asked a few qualifying questions and number of employees you have. Back then, we didn't know that they use number of employees to qualify us. So everybody was, okay, 2-3 employees. A lot of my customers, they pay the employee by 1099, like especially in the beauty salon business, nail salon, and all of that. They pay the employee by 1099, so they don't think that was employee. So they only put 2, 3, 5, or whatever. But in reality, they have more than 10. They have more than that. So now they're being paid just the amount that they put on. I didn't know that either. I didn't even know that SBA run credit, which is a good thing, but bad thing. And SBA, I know, can decline you because if you have tax lien, they can decline you. If you have any form of other SBA or government loan that you default on, they'll decline you. And this is another big thing. If you have back child support that you didn't pay, they decline you. Student loan, if you late on your student loan, they decline you. So not everybody will qualify, which is a good thing, but which is a bad thing, but a good thing, because now I feel like SBA is actually doing due diligence. They don't give money, waste money out to give to anyone. You see what I'm saying? They try to put it in the right people.
And then talking about the 1099s and how some small business owners use contractors for their business. It's not illegal not to do 1099s, because based on some of them are seasonal business, like taking the same example of nail salons, they're more busier during Thanksgiving time, Christmas time. So they bring in independent contractors to work on the business. And now when they're applying for the PPP, if they say, okay, how much did you spend for the entire year? These guys, they use 1099 independent contractors, and none of that is going to count, and they might not even be eligible for PPP, or a very small fraction of the PPP. So that's a good point. So now we also heard that SBI is out of the money, right? So today is what, April 23rd, and we've been hearing that SBA was out of money. So what can small business owners do?
As of Wednesday last week, they on their website, they put up a note that they're not taking any more application. But today Congress should pass the final bill that come out. They should release another $322 billion. Okay, so the next batch of money is coming. I would urge anybody who listening right now, don't wait, apply right now, especially if they already applied for the $10,000. After you apply for the $10,000, you get a code at the end, and that is your application. That's your code, which means that you already get in line. You already applied before the cutoff date.
Okay.
This is the trick, though, Kiran. Everyone, and nobody I talked to so far, I talked to hundreds of people. Nobody knows what to do. What is the next step to do?
Yeah.
The next step to do right now. No more online application. They don't take online application anymore. And actually, the page where they allow people to fill out paperwork to download the form, they even take that down. So I urge people to be smart about it. Okay, I can send you the set, you can send to people, or they can go on my website and download the free set. That is the actual paper app that they need to fill out. They can use a CPA, they can use somebody with some SBA loan experience, a loan officer or whatever, or themselves if they're, if they're savvy enough. Download the form and send it in 3 ways. Mail it in, certified mail with return signature, fax it in, and email it in. SBA is trying to control the flow right now, the paperwork of application coming in, so you don't find that, but we still have that. I still have those documentation, just like the loan modification day before. We need to be ahead of the curve, and this is another way for people to be ahead of the curve. Download the paper app and manually send it in. Do what they need to do, because eventually, if you want the 6 months, they will request the same paperwork anyway.
So Duke, we don't have any financial relationship on what we are talking about. We are just trying to streamline and help the small businesses with the information. So all the information that you are giving out, we appreciate it. But can you tell me if like how can people reach you, and are you in a position to help small businesses get some help, like who need help with either paperwork or consultation? Do you have a way wherein people can reach you?
Yes. As soon as they announce it, just like the loan modification exposed, I put up some guideline together. So I came out with my our own software this time. It's called disaster loan packaging. So people can go to disasterloanpackaging.com and download. And there's a few ways for them to do. There's a free version, which is they can download it and fill out manually themselves or with the help of the CPA. You know what, Kiran, my firm was not, I have about 15 employees, but we're not equipped to deal with this whole thing. So I can handle at the most maybe 200-300 customers, because this is going to be happening very quick in 1 month, okay? And things should be back to normal in the next 3-4 months. So I don't want to bring more people in and let them go in the next 2-3 months either. So right now I'm saying with what the staff that I have, I can only support about 200-300 customers. There's millions of businesses. I recommend everybody to go on my website and download that app and help themselves, okay? So there's a few ways for them to do that. They can download the app, do it themselves with a CPA, or the second way for them to do that is they can buy my software and do it themselves. If they buy the software, they would do 80% of the work, okay? They fill out completely the information, but the information I ask on the software is not like filling out the paper app, because paper app is confusing. There's a set of paperwork, 400 plus questions. You don't answer it right, or you might answer one thing on number 1 and answer something else in number 350. You can screw it up, okay? So I put a flow together on the software for people to follow, very easy. If they are willing to do that, input all the information. When they're done, then we review the paperwork for them. So we will spend 2 hours going through the app with them, make sure that they, it's correct, it's compliant, they can qualify, and stacking in order for them to stack the paperwork the way SBA look at it. You know what? And just like the loan modification day, when you send in a package right now, SBA people are new people. They're not professional underwriter. You've got to write your story so that they look at your app and they say, done. You basically teach them how to look at your application. You give them area that they need to look at. You show them your 6 months expenses. You tell them, you give them a projection. If the economy is like this, this is going to be how much I need in the next 6 months. You basically teach and guide that underwriter, okay, how to look at your app, and so give them all the supporting documentation so that they look at it, they stamp approve, and so that give you a better chance of getting approval, okay? So if they do 80% of the work and we just spend 2 hours with them to review it, then our company charge $500 to do that. Okay, but like I say, the first option is free. They can do it with a CPA, and I encourage everybody to do that. Okay, because I don't have enough manpower, and I want to help. I want to use this information to help as many businesses as possible. I'm a small business myself. I understand the stress without revenue coming in and expenses going out. Okay, so the last option, if people say, Duke, man, this stuff is way out of my league. I've been running restaurant for a long time. I don't like paperwork. So if they dump me their last year 2019 tax return and 3-month bank statement for 2020, then our team will put the complete package together for them. Okay. We'll ask a few additional questions, but that's the bulk of what we need based on the financial in 2019 and the first 3 months. We spend about 3 to 4 day complete day, okay, to put the package. And if we do full service, then we charge $2,500. But like I say, I can only handle 200-300 customers at the most in the next
And
30
then,
days.
and then logically, it makes sense. If a small business, they don't want to mess up on the paperwork and then just lose the opportunity to get this grant. So yeah. I want to not take too much of your time. So before we wrap up, I wanted to know. So disasterloanpackaging.com. That's the website. I'm going to go check it out. So as I was talking to you, I was kind of browsing through it. It's a lot of information, and it looks like you spent a lot of energy trying to put into it. So is there a
Yes,
phone
yes.
number?
I hope
Is
to
there
help
a
the
phone
mass.
number?
I hope to help.
Sorry,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, please, please.
No, I wanted to know, do you have like a phone number? I know some business owners, they are not internet. I know there is a lot of restaurants, they don't do internet. So is there a phone number? Do you have
Yeah.
anybody?
They can reach me. They can reach me through my cell phone 480-808-0318. Again, 480-808-0318. But you know what? Text me because I'm on the phone a lot, and I promise me or one of my team member will respond the same day.
Awesome. Great information, Duke. It's just weird that I'm trying to circle back from the memory of the previous recession. So hope things bounce back quickly. But until then, I greatly do appreciate the work that you do and the help that you're offering to the small businesses, especially to those who are the most vulnerable and the people who most need help. So with that said,
Man,
I'm going to wrap up. Do you have any closing thoughts?
no. Thank you, Kiran. I mean, you've done a great job, man. We've known each other for years, and always impressed with the work that you do. And I know that you help a lot, through your community. That's awesome, man. I'm really proud of you. But one thing though, I cannot stress enough. Tell your friend, tell your business owner, customers. Everybody have to take this shot. Everybody have to apply. And if they do it right, they should get the money. Okay. So uh, whether they use me or use someone else, get to the source, get the information, get the application, and do that to take care of their family and business. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kiran.
Yeah, this hardship is real, and I think I appreciate again all the energy that you're spending with this. So take care, man. I'll see you again.
Thank you.